risks associated with climate change are increasing, more extreme weather and the related geopolitical risks that come alongside this. For many businesses that operate in particularly volatile parts of the world, insurance premiums can be extortionate, or in some instances, insurance companies will not cover you for extreme weather-related risks at all. So in this situation, businesses must take preparation and resilience seriously. For example, Hurricane Katrina in 2005 cost an estimated $200 billion in damages, followed by Hurricane Harvey in 2017, costing an estimated $160 billion, and Hurricane Ian in 2022, causing an estimated $118 billion of damage. This is something Sigma 7's engineering consultant and climate change adaptation expert Raphaël Papin deals with on a regular basis.
Clearly, insurance is getting more and more a challenge for many companies. So they need to be proactive, they need to review their flood defense, they need to update emergency plans, they need to know their risk, and especially if they choose to go for parametric insurance, meaning to have a coverage depending on the certain level of rain, for example, or temperature. For that, they need to know their risk much more than if they have if they buy standard insurance. There are many examples. I can see that you had in Tunisia there was a car part manufacturer that was hit by a wildfire due to Bush's fire, which was not really clearly identified in the past. And I can see now plants in northern part of France or Europe, which could be also impacted by fire, and they have small fires that they did not have in the past. So this is something that clearly vegetation control around all the plants and looking at if the plant has combustible construction or not is something that you should really assess, and that is not assessed yet. And we already saw examples of plants that were totally destroyed because of such issue in southern part of Europe or northern Africa, and now it moved to north of France and northern of Europe. In terms of preparation, when I do climate change survey, I see a lot of business which are not well prepared at all. I would say that even most of the businesses are not prepared. They don't know what would be the updated flood risk, including climate change. They don't know what is the threshold in terms of a cooling system, to which temperature they can operate. And a lot of them, for instance, they have a huge hydrate stress risk, which is not covered. And most of them, they can lose up to what the best assessment we have is that they can lose up to 10% of their business interruption. We call it the margin on gross value. The gross margin, I would say, they can lose up to 10% of their annual gross margin due to a heat wave. And this I know from the company which are best prepared. I worked very closely with a few clients which are really well prepared. In fact, I am even developing with those clients the best practice on how to assess and move forward. And they are today putting in place the prevention measure to limit their flood risk. I would say that it's in terms of it's a risk that could hit the company very hard. In Europe, at least, we know that everything which is north of Rome and Madrid will be more severely impacted. And every time we go to a plant where there was previously a flood risk, we see that is more heavily exposed. And on the low frequency, it could have very bad consequences. But you have also a lot of minor risk, we call them secondary perils, which could have on the higher frequency. That means that it's almost sure that it's going to happen in the next 10 years. And it could cost, as I say, for heat wave or wildfire, up to 10% or 20% of the business interruption. What we do, we send engineers like me to do general climate change survey to provide a full overview of climate change hazards to the client. And we also send specialized engineer in wildfire, in flood, hurricane, to dedicated location when we have specific hazard that could hit the clients. What is very important is that today the client should not rely only on satellite map and automated analysis, and more this is a big issue, and the clients they often think that they should solve this new problem very quickly with low resources, and I really think that field expertise is necessary, and that you need to look hazard per hazard, going back to science. So we know it's hard, we know it's long, but it's really worth it to analyze in depth climate change hazards in most of your plants, starting by the plants that were, traditionally hit by natural hazard and perils.
Following on from Raphael's comments, the impact can be far-reaching, going way past your operations hub and cascading supply chains that span multiple continents. In September, Super Typhoon Yagi impacted the Philippines, China and Vietnam. One of China's largest manufacturing hubs in Guangdong was impacted, as was Hong Kong, which remains an important logistics hub. Vietnam, an area of growing importance in global manufacturing, in part due to cheaper costs, but also as some companies seek to diversify their supply chain from China, was also badly hit. While these countries are no strangers to extreme weather events and recovered quickly, many businesses operate just-in-time supply chains, leaving themselves exposed to the slightest disruption. Join us tomorrow for our final episode where we look at tangible ways you can prepare for climate change events. Want to discover more? Sign up for our webinar with leading industry experts on the 5th of December, where we explore the key natural catastrophes and climate change events of 2024 and what these mean for the evolving risk landscape in 2025. Sign up by clicking the link in this post.